Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and happy new year from wherever you're calling from, your home here at Cabin. I hope everyone is doing well out there. So, winter 2023, Cabin's sixth season of operation. Today, we celebrate a new year. We celebrate that in 2022, the first Cabin babies were born. So a warm welcome to the world, Luna and Ray. I'm wishing everyone out there a happy and healthy new year, especially our Cabin babies. So winter, it's cold in New York, freezing in Chicago. It's dark in Canada. I'm sorry, Charlie. I mean, it's warm in Austin, but we still await the days when the breeze in the air provides relief from the hot sun, and it's not a blistering reminder of the winter chills. We await the days when we can look back at our challenges and say, wow, those were actually good times, even though it didn't always feel like that in the moment. When we say in some weird way, we enjoyed that adversity, that challenge, that tough conversation, the journey. When we say, wow, things were simpler back then. I asked today, must life feel increasingly complicated? With babies, aging parents, bills, mortgages, inflation, global inequality, and climate change, it can certainly feel that way. But today we're focused on the local moment, new villages, healthy soil, joy, transformative relationships, belly laughs, breaking bread with friends old and new, that meal after a long hike, knowing where your food comes from, reconnecting with a friend from your past, the first snowfall of the year, and blessings of freshly fallen powder on untouched ski slopes. As we sit here today in January 2023, the days are once again growing longer. And even though the coldest days of winter may lie ahead, the days grow longer. But don't get too excited, because soon the calendar will flip to late June and the days will once again grow shorter. So what does that teach us? I believe it is a lesson for us to not get too far ahead of ourselves in the mysteries of tomorrow, to stay grounded on this moving planet, even with sunny days ahead. So with so much to look forward to, we need to stay mindful and aware of the moment of now. Luckily, the moment of now is just as exciting as the future. Now, y'all might have joined the call today wondering why the moment is now is just as exciting. And I'd say it's because we're building it together. And in the wonderful world of Cabin, I've never been more exhilarated about the direction this community is going in, the ways we can all engage in our online worlds and IRL at Cabin neighborhoods. Funny enough, it's actually been exactly 12 months since Jackson and I founded the Community Guild. And back then we were onto something, but to be honest, we didn't have the magic yet. And while we'll always be learning, growing, listening, and iterating, I have such solid conviction that the current direction we're going in contains a lot of important ingredients in the cake we're all baking together. So what are those ingredients? There are new roles at Cabin, upcoming amazing work stay opportunities, the forthcoming neighborhood race, building 10 times cheaper and better housing, the new Cabin census product. But before we share the latest Cabin happenings and updates and how we're thinking about 2023, I think it would be helpful to just take a quick look back. So I'm going to share some slides here. Can y'all see that okay? Okay, that's the first time asking that of the year. Feels good, feels good. So we have a quick agenda. We're going to go through some presentation. We have a lot of really exciting updates, and we're going to try to move through things relatively quickly. At the end, we're going to have some time for some sharing about 2022 learnings and 2023 intentions. And we'll also be ending the call today with the final video of Charlie's Builder in Residence series. So looking back, kind of organizing things into sort of three three chapters. We have the founding, back in May 2021 up till the end of 2021, where we launched the DAO and the completion of the original, creator residency programs. We have sort of the formalization era, which was the first chunk of last year, the growth of Neighborhood Zero, retreat programs, and different DAO experiments. And now we're in the era of focus, a narrowed focus on co-living and neighborhood development. So we have a lot to look forward to. Before we jump into what may be next on the horizon, I see we may have some new faces here on the call, maybe some folks that are tapping back in. So I just wanted to hold some space. If anyone feels comfortable, maybe flipping that camera on, coming off mute. We have a lot of great community members gathered here today. So if you're a little bit newer to the Cabin community or tapping back in, I just wanted to create an opportunity if folks felt compelled to introduce themselves and say hi to do so. So for any newcomers on the call today, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Hey, I'm an oldie, just jumping back in. My name's Mel, and I'm a product designer and creator and in love with Cabin.
It's great to see you, Mel.
Everyone, I'm Matt. I've been kind of lurking at the edges of Cabin for quite a while, and then got recently inspired through being in C Club SEO 5 and then just watching the trajectory of Cabin and what you're all up to. So really excited to be spending more time with Cabin. Nice to meet you all.
It's great to see.
This is the jungle behind me. I'm in Akumal, which is in between Playa del Carmen and Tulum.
You might have the best background today. Awesome. It's great to have you here, Matt.
Hey everyone, I'm Kevin, based here just outside of Austin in Round Rock. Heard about Cabin last week on the Twitter space with City DAO, where I'm a citizen. Got super excited, especially when I found out you guys are just outside of town. So looking to see how I can get more involved.
Awesome.
I'm Lauren. I'm a newbie and am super excited to be helping out the Cabin fellowship team over the next couple months on ramping up for the neighborhood race. So pumped to meet everyone here, hopefully over the coming weeks. And much less cool than Matthew. I'm based in DC normally, though happen to be in Brooklyn right now.
Awesome. Welcome, Lauren.
Hi, everyone. I'm an oldie just coming in. I've been joining through the women's group, which has been really awesome. So I'm excited for the year to ramp back up. It's really great to see everyone.
Sweet, sweet.
And the OGs are just rolling in today. Hello, so good to see you.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. Would anyone else like to say hi out there? Okay. And like I said, we'll have another moment to share towards the end of the call today. So thanks everyone for joining, and let's start looking ahead. So Cabin is launching the first civilization scaled role-playing game. And a big part of that are the first 6 roles at Cabin. So we're going to be going through each of these roles, really excited about ways where community members can formally declare their role, their interests, their skill sets, connect with other like-minded individuals, and level up and move towards that expert status. We're going to be talking about the census product, the neighborhood race, some work-stay exchange opportunities, how Cabin's going to be focused on growing co-living this season and beyond, and of course, continuing to experiment with building 10 times cheaper and better housing. So I want to throw it over to John here just a second to kind of talk a little bit more about the inspiration behind each of these roles and how they kind of intersect with the role-playing game. So I'm so excited about these images. I'm sure they'll change a little bit, but just seeing these kind of come to life gets me really excited. So John, do you want to talk a little bit about the census product and how that ties into the roles?
Yeah, sure. So this is something I think we've been coming to for a long time, and is really a culmination of us figuring out the right pathways for people to get involved more deeply with the community. And what we've heard from community feedback, over the course of the past year, is that people want clear opportunities to engage and clear pathways to get more deeply involved with Cabin. And so as we embark on this journey of building an IRL RPG together, an in real life role-playing game, we tried to think about what are the key personas, the key roles that are really going to help us build the city that we're trying to build. And we came up with these 6, which are not inventions so much as mapping the existing community and trying to create names to describe what's already happening. So caretakers, as we know, are the people who start Cabin neighborhoods. They are the lifeblood of our city, the people who go out onto the frontier and try to create new places for us to gather. And a lot of what we're going to be focused on, particularly with the neighborhood race, is about helping to rally the community around potential caretakers and bring new neighborhoods into the community. Hosts are people who are expert space makers and gatherers of humans, people who build the container and the culture of Cabin IRL. And this has been an incredibly important role so far in the community that we want to keep fostering. Residents are people who come and do spend time living in Cabin communities and typically pay for their stays and help financially support those communities while they're doing their own independent work, typically online. And these are often people who are nomadic, may travel around between different neighborhoods. Naturalists are people who are working with the natural environment and are figuring out ways to help Cabin communities grow plants, animals, and human systems to support that environment. Creators are the original residency of Cabin through our original creator residency program. And creators are very online producers of art, novelty, content that add a unique perspective into Cabin neighborhoods and come with big new ideas about what we can create together. And builders are people who make physical infrastructure places for us to live within Cabin neighborhoods. And I think we've seen the great success of Build Week so far over the course of the past year, and builder residency programs that Charlie kicked off in this past year. So all of these roles are things that we're going to start sharing with people, when they're onboarding, and help people try to find out which of these paths is the best way for them to get involved with neighborhoods, the best way for them to engage online, and the best way for them to engage offline. And that will include work stay exchange programs, that will include different levels, that will include guilds for fostering communities within each of these roles. And these roles are not exclusive. You can participate in multiple roles. There will probably be many more roles over time. Some of these roles may subdivide. But the real goal here is to start to create a base of identity, reputation, and polycentric governance and community across Cabin so that people have these clear pathways for engagement.
I love it. I've got to say, I'm particularly excited by the naturalist role. As our neighborhoods think about growing food and really interacting with the soil and the air, our communities are only as healthy as the soil they walk on and the air they breathe. And with the naturalist role, we're thinking about it like we're collectively organizing and hopefully empowering the human population to embark on earth healing projects all over the world. And that, to me, it feels like a good legacy to leave behind. So super excited about that. each role has levels. So you start out as an apprentice, move your way up into an artisan level, and then eventually become an expert. And these are going to be, identity and reputation, like John said, and really excited about this. So a great action item for folks is to pop over to the Discord and go into channel 03, choose your role, and emoji react to the 6 different roles. And that'll open up the channel for that role. And that's going to be a really great place to stay tapped in as these roles come online, as the different, people declare their level 1 status as apprentices and move their way to expert level status. So really excited about the different opportunities for folks to engage both online and IRL. And it's all going to tie back in through the census product here. And this is a new product that Cabin is currently building. So want to take a few minutes to just share a little bit about that. John, do you want to maybe share about that? And Mel's here as well. We can have Mel come and share some of the design inspiration, maybe give a quick demo of how we're thinking about things.
Yeah, so one way that we're going to start to implement these roles is through the census, and the census is essentially Cabin's community directory, and it's where you'll be able to start building your identity and reputation within the Cabin ecosystem. So that'll include your passport profile, your roles, your stamps, and other activity that you complete on-chain and off-chain within the Cabin community. And this will serve as both a way to explore and understand the community, a way for us to collectively sense make and to build and look at each other's identities within the community. And then it will also serve as the base layer for us to start playing some fun games on top. And the first game that we'll be talking about in just a little bit is the neighborhood race. But before we get there, would love to just turn it over to Mel for any additional information that she wants to add.
Yeah, sure. Just kind of hitting on some of the design choices around sort of the styling of the screen here. So about, last year when we were starting to uncover some of the fundamental elements of the Cabin brand, we wanted to sort of think about like this juxtaposition that's going on with Cabin of like old and new, earthy and techie, like the physical and the virtual, the dreamers and the builders, the aspect of like seriousness of governance, but like the creativity and playfulness of the community. And so as this has sort of evolved, we're using inspiration from various nostalgic elements like Game Boys or 8-bit computer games, old world maps and sort of the sepia tones, using colors to kind of indicate some of the more natural aspects with the greens and the browns. And then that neon green to kind of tip the hat to the old kind of techie UI. But at the same time, Cabin's just in its beginnings and the community is really a part of making Cabin. And so we wanted to, instead of being really heavy-handed with the UI and the styling, have it be more of a supporting role to the art and the creative work that the community builds out. When we kind of think about some of the passport stamps and the roles and all these different opportunities for artists to come in and kind of collaborate and help be a part of making this UI a kind of community effort as well.
I love that. I don't know about y'all, but this gets me excited. This feels so real, and I'm just super excited to engage with the product once it's ready for the community. So awesome. We'll certainly be having some opportunities for folks to give feedback and thoughts, but you can always reach out to me in the meantime as we kind of build out the initial iterations of the product. Awesome. So you see the caretaker is featured here in Jalen's role 1 of 2. And as y'all know, the caretaker is such a central part of the Cabin experience. And we've come up with the neighborhood race, which is a really exciting way to engage with the Cabin community and really create a bottom-up process for seeding new neighborhoods. So I want to bring up our main man, Phil, here, who is our future of living expert, future of housing guy. Bill, what's the latest on the neighborhood race?
Yeah, hey everyone. So the neighborhood race is something that we're excited about running this quarter. And it's a attempt to get more neighborhoods up and joining Cabin. And so the idea behind the neighborhood race is that we're gonna have a race. And whichever potential neighborhood, so all the different neighborhoods that have hopes and dreams, gets the most support, Cabin's gonna be backing financially. And so this is gonna be a big thing. Cabin's gonna put a fair amount of financial support behind one or more different potential future neighborhoods. So if you have a property, or if you know someone else has a property who wants to develop into a Cabin neighborhood, this will be a great opportunity to do this. And you will be hearing a lot more about the neighborhood race soon. But we want to give a little sneak preview on this call. John, I don't know if you have anything to add about this.
Yeah, I'll just add a little bit, which is that, over the past 6 months, we have been working on neighborhood development. And the way that we've been doing that is by going out and finding properties around the world that are already a great fit for Cabin. And we've been completing pilots with those properties, including some of the upcoming pilots, like the one in the Portuguese Azores and the one in Colombia. We believe that while that's a good way to build partnerships, in order to build really deep relationships and in order to build the type of neighborhoods that are going to be really natively Cabin and a part of our culture, we need to get more actively involved at an earlier stage. And so the neighborhood race is really a big bet that we're making for helping to actually be involved at the formation stage of these projects. And we believe there's probably at least a dozen projects across the community that could be a really good fit for this race. And rather than, just like having some process where a small group of people is deciding which of those is the right fit or which ones to invest in, the whole point of this race is to bring in the wisdom of the community to crowdsource the decisions around which projects we want to support, and then to provide the opportunity for those projects to crowdfund with matching funds from Cabin in order to actually turn these dreams into reality. And so we think this is a pretty big and exciting step for Cabin, and just for the ability for an internet community to come together and manifest the creation of real places in the real world.
We're talking squad wealth here. So get the homies, all the hopers, the dreamers out there, the late night conversations you have with your friends about, hey, what would it look like to actually have an amazing property immersed in nature with great people, good food? This is the opportunity here. And we're really excited to take this first step with the neighborhood race. And we're going to be rolling out like specific parameters, guidelines, and timelines for all of this. So Reese, definitely stay tuned there. And I'm not ignoring you actually, so don't worry about that. Matthew, you asked a question about who's building the census product, and if there are opportunities for developers in the community to get involved. It looks like John just responded there. So definitely some engagement opportunities there. Awesome. So we're going to keep rolling here. Definitely feel free to keep using the chat there as folks have more questions. And want to talk a little bit now about upcoming residency opportunities. So I'm going to pass it over to Chalice here to talk about all the great ways you can get involved IRL. And then we'll also spin it over to Jackson to talk about how you can participate in a creator residency. Charlie Che in the house. What's up, Chalice?
Hi, JD. Hi, everyone. I'm going down to Neighborhood Zero this week, so that's exciting. And we also have 2 residents moving in this week. A couple of opportunities that exist on the horizon are the builder in residence. Charlie left us, so now we need a new builder. So we need the next one. We also have the naturalist role available. We have a host moving in February. But if you're interested in like a further out opportunity for that, definitely the earlier you want to plan for it, the better. Those are the upcoming opportunities at Neighborhood Zero. So they're out there. And if there's always applications, but also just direct message me at chalice@cabin.city.
Yes, and I'll drop these links here. I recognize that these links aren't clickable for folks right now. Jackson, do you want to talk a little bit about the creator residency opportunities happening at Neighborhood Zero?
Boy, do I. What's up, everyone? Happy New Year. Throwback to 18 months ago when, one second, I'm going to move just for audio purposes. I'm going to come in here. So throwback to 18 months ago when I first learned about Cabin, and I had a chance to apply to join a creator residency. And the way that it worked was, hey, you would get a free month of housing in the Texas Hill Country to work on whatever creator project you would like. And this is actually how I found out about Cabin. I saw this crowdfund and I was like, oh, that's such a cool idea. So I applied with an admittedly horrible idea to be a, if any of you have ever seen Hot Ones, it's this YouTube show where guests come on the show and they eat really spicy chicken wings while they answer questions about whatever it is that they're working on. So I wanted to do that, but instead of having the guests eating hot wings, I was going to lead them through a high intensity interval training workout in the middle of nature. At the time, I just completed a personal trainer certification. Anyway, I applied on Twitter by submitting a Twitter thread to go live at the cabins. And the community voted that that was a terrible idea. But the great news is that they voted for 4 really awesome ideas, and they brought residents out to Neighborhood Zero. And that's really how Cabin, I'm reading Charlie's comment. That's how Cabin really got started, is we had these creator residencies happening at Neighborhood Zero. And so we're going to bring that back, and we'll share more on social later today. But the gist is that if you want to be at Neighborhood Zero for free, working on whatever project you'd like, we don't have any specific definition for creators. Creators can be musicians, artists, filmmakers, online knowledge workers, entrepreneurs. Like, the only constraints are your imagination. Then you can apply by either writing a Twitter thread and tagging Creator Cabins in that Twitter thread, or by going on Instagram and posting a video highlighting the same thing, like tagging Creator Cabins and saying what you want to work on. And after a week of this, so this is going to happen fast, we will then take all of the different submissions, and the community will vote with their cabin, just like we did before, on one creator that we will bring in to be a resident for the month of February. And then we'll repeat that for March, and we'll repeat that for April, and we'll see if we keep doing it afterwards. But yeah, if you want to go create an awesome project, start dreaming right now what you would do if you were in a beautiful Texas Hill Country environment with your own bedroom, bathroom, and creator space for a month. And if you don't want to do that, or if you don't want to do it yet and you have friends who would love to do that, then be sure to let them know. This is going to happen fast. So once you see the tweet go up and once you see Instagram go up, go ahead and spread that around. We will then decide next week who we're going to bring in for February. And then as we get more towards March and April, we'll give a bit more lead time to people, because we recognize that not everybody has just like their housing flexible a few weeks out. So excited to share more on creator residencies. We're really, I think, happy to go back to our roots a little bit, especially because everything that we try to do is meant to create, co-live, and conserve. So we're putting our money where our mouth is with this one. And I'm thrilled that more people will have the chance to submit their bad ideas, none of which could be really any worse than mine. So thanks. See you all online and hopefully at the cabins at Neighborhood Zero soon. Back to you, JD.
Thanks, Jackson. I'll be reaching out for a private one-on-one high interval training hot wings session. If you're still, giving that offering to the community, I'd like to take you up on that. In other creator news, I have an announcement that I have declared my status as a level 1 creator. I've gone over to choose a role, and I've done that. And I'm really excited by this because I've been working on poetry and spoken word for a couple years now, and I've been moving towards trying to publish a poetry book. And it's always kind of fallen to the back burner. And I think having this formal creator role is a chance for me to finally push this through. So that, combined with 2023 resolutions, keep an eye out for poetry book. And maybe if I publish it, maybe I can become an expert creator. I don't know. But yes, thank you for the support here in the chat. Wow. Whoa. Okay. All right. We're moving on. But go over to O3, choose your role, and let's get it going. Some other DAO keeping going on in the community. We have our first builders call of the year today at 1 p.m. PST. It looks like we have Charlie, our top hat builder, on the call today. Charlie, what is going on?
What's up? Yeah, I'm excited for this call. It's going to be new for me to be leading calls like this, but I'm excited to try it out and learn with the crew. One thing that I want to do is have speakers for this call, and basically, given the short notice of this one, I'll be the speaker and I'll be sharing some of the lessons I learned from my first builder in residence session, I guess. So yeah, looking forward to seeing everyone there.
Awesome. Thanks, Charlie. We also have our next community call Monday, January 23rd. We're going to be skipping next week with Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. So stay tuned for Monday, January 23rd. We'll definitely have some more updates to share about all of the latest cabin happenings. We have our first creator accountability circle, which is the first formal programming for the creator role. So hop in on January 18th. That's next week at 2 p.m. PST. Some other upcoming fun calls. We have our WF and NB, our women, feb, and non-binary call tomorrow. It's our first one of the year. So come join that gathering. It's been, from what I've heard, a lot of fun. And there's been some exciting chatter about some women, femme, and non-binary build weeks coming up. So if you want to get involved or learn more, definitely hop into that call. Some IRL happenings. Portugal is officially sold out, my friends. Really excited about this work-live gardening exchange. We heard about this orchard out on a Portuguese island that's been neglected. So we're gonna show up and give it some cabin love, do some spring pruning, and get the fruit and citrus trees ready for a good season. Now, if you do want to join us for an upcoming IRL experience, we do still have some spots for Colombia. I'm going to run through a couple slides just on that experience if folks want to learn more about that. But quick poll for the community. We've gotten some feedback that this Monday call sometimes conflicts with folks' regular work schedules. Just like quick exploratory thing here. Can folks give a thumbs up or thumbs down? Like thumbs up if you like this time, thumbs down if you'd be open to other times. And if we feel like we're getting a lot of thumbs down, we can look into some other times here. I'm seeing a yawn and a thumbs down from Eileen, waking up on that PST. Seeing some thumbs up. No good for Charlie Jackson. Okay. We have a mixed from Matthew. Matthew, can you share what are you communicating with us today?
Oh yeah, that was just like, this time works for me, but I could also do other times. So
same here.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right, cool. We'll think about that and see if it makes sense to maybe shift this time, but we're still on for next Monday, the 23rd. So thanks everyone for the thumbs up and thumbs down. So Riverside Eco Living in Colombia, it's going to be an amazing time. This is a co-living retreat. We are outside Medellin in the Colombian countryside. It's super lush and pretty. Just to give you guys an idea, this is the co-working space. It was built from bamboo from South America, and this space is specifically designed for co-working. So this property in Yarico, Colombia, it's specifically built for people that are working remote that want to be immersed in nature. And when we first got connected with the caretaker down there, Jay, it was like, wow, we need to get down there and check out this property. So I'm going to be going down there myself and hosting this experience as I move to maybe getting expert host status. So I'm going to be leading an IRL event down here. If folks want to join, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a really beautiful property. Now, this retreat, we wanted to make it as easy as possible for folks to, come along. So it's, yeah, I'm trying to get every role. And there's rumors that you get some sweet, custom merch as you get to expert level status. So you got to catch them all. So yes, Coffee Mill. This is, apparently one of the most, lush coffee regions in the world. So we're going to be doing some coffee farm tours. So this experience is going to be, 7 nights. It's all inclusive. So your ticket price is going to include your lodging, your food, and then transportation to and from the airport, as well as 2 group excursions. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Some people will probably doing some more deeper work from this desk, while other people will, maybe treating it a little bit more as a vacation. So if you have more questions about this experience, reach out to me. I'll also drop that application form here. If folks are interested, maybe grab a quick screenshot of this slide just to have the quick facts here on it. But really excited by this program. It's happening from February 26th to March 5th. So a lot of fun. If you need anything, give me a shout. Now, want to leave some time for some questions at the end, and of course, watching the final video series in Charlie's Builder in Residence YouTube adventure. But before we do that, I thought we'd just take some minutes here and just have a quick sharing circle. As we look ahead to 2023, both in the world of Cabin and in our own personal and professional lives, it's just a great opportunity to look back. So if folks feel compelled to share about some reflections or learnings they had from last year, and maybe some resolutions and intentions from this year, would love to just hear from how people are thinking about this upcoming year. I know we had a few shared at the beginning of the call, but if folks have had some time to think about things, and if you're like, you know what, I don't like these sort of year change as a reflection point, we can also open it up to what's something that's giving you joy and energy in your life, and maybe something you want to lean a little bit more into that you haven't been devoting as much time and energy into.
I can hop in and share one thing that I was thinking about trying to do this year is trying to set aside, like, we all set aside time for like chores and work and things like that, but actually like setting aside a little piece of like playtime as like a creator and stuff, just being able to just have a moment to just, take down the walls and just kind of explore some different ideas and play around with some ideas. And maybe it's stuff that gets shared, maybe it's stuff that only is in a box or something at the house for a long time. But other than that, just kind of like, trying to make space for exploration.
We need more play.
Yeah, I guess to echo what Mel said, I'm feeling very drawn to being in community, but particularly people who are dreamers and builders, people who aren't scared to imagine what this more beautiful world our hearts knows is possible might be like, and to take some chances and experiment and actually build those things. And the other thing, to echo what Mel said around play, is deep creative play in a sort of infinite game sort of way. I'm really interested in playing at that high resolution level of play with others.
I love that. Yeller, oh no, we had a hand up and we had a hand down.
Uh-oh, hand up, hand down. I'll still take it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was super resonating with what Mel's saying, this idea of like exploring this year, like going deep and then going wide as well. I'm trying to break out of being a workhorse, finding myself on the computer all the time, grinding, hustling, gathering resources like a busy little squirrel, and spending a bit more time on myself and the relationships that I have with people, and finding ways to bring offerings to people that make them feel alive and light them up and open them up as well. And trying to do that as we seek to expand this area we're in up in the Teton Valley as a community that has access to the cabin, find folks at cabin as well. So yeah, more play, more space, more spirituality, and all the good things that make us whole.
I love that. Thanks, Yaler. What's on your mind, Reese?
So I jokingly put in the chat that I block off my work meetings based on cabin schedule, but it's actually a big piece of what I learned from last year, which is that I have to fit work into my life and not life into my work. And so a big piece of me joining the company that I just moved to full time as was negotiating for unlimited paid time off. And so my big goal for myself is to use that unabashedly, and use it for small calls like this, and for long 2-week sessions, and for any of the time that I need.
Love it, Reese. Hey, Kat.
Hey. I think 2022 was a lot about becoming a collaborative leader and not a dictatorial leader, or just coming into my own and managing and leading teams and inspiring people. I'd like to continue that route in 2023, but I find myself in kind of a different time altogether, or a different type of job, or kind of a different industry. I'm moving kind of more into tech and architecture and tech rather than pure architecture. And I'm really excited about that. So kind of leaning into being a collaborative leader and a member of community, rather than what we maybe typically think when we think of leadership.
That's great. A lot of exciting life changes coming from Kat. We got the new house. Oh, we got Mr. Hillis here with his hand up. John, what are you thinking about for this year?
Yeah, this is probably a little bit biased by recency, but just this morning I was reading a post from Kevin Owaki about planting seeds for the crypto spring. And I know this past year has been a pretty wild market cycle for folks, and we've seen highs and we've seen lows, and I think that part of the great strength of this community is you can tell that it's people that are here for the right reasons and here actually to just hang out and engage with other great humans, and so we tend to be less impacted by those sort of cycles. But I think as we enter a new year, it's still helpful to think about seasons and about cycles, and I think that what excites me so much right now is just the number of seeds that we're planting as a community. Everything that we've just talked about today is just a whole field full of seeds that I think are really going to start blossoming over the next few months. So I'm just really excited to watch them blossom with all of you.
That's beautiful. Ooh, okay, Mel. Come with the design and the words. I see you. Amazing, amazing. So Charlie just released yesterday his final Builder in Residence video. So we're gonna continue that tradition of watching the video collectively. But before we do it, I just wanted to open it up. If folks had any general just questions, reflections, thoughts, about anything we've discussed today. Of course, a lot of these things are in motion right now, so we're going to continue building them together and sharing updates and opportunities for feedback along the way. But I know we threw a lot at y'all, so if folks have any questions, now would be a great time for those. Yeah, this meeting is being recorded, and I'll upload it to our YouTube later today.
Mine was just really quick. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. No, I just want to share giggles and some Luna love from over here. She's still awake. She's a tiny bit overtired, and for some reason, she stopped giggling right now. She's been laughing the entire time. Yeah, that's the little one, and that's my reflection from 2022. I created life.
Like my work speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's like I'm a creator, I guess. I can claim that role.
Yes, you are.
I'm just happy to be with you. It's also been exactly 1 year since I joined Cabin. Like, it's been January 2022. I've been very pregnant, and I found out about Cabin. And then Luna came. So yeah, happy to see you all and excited to build with you in 2023 and excited to win the race.
Yes, yes. Luna sounds excited as well.
Yes. It's bedtime. All right.
That's great. It's so great seeing you, Kati. Awesome.
I was just going to ask if we're going to maintain the referral program and if that extends to the creator residencies that are coming up. Like, I'm not someone who would apply for that, but I'd be super happy to share it to my network. If someone then joins, does that kind of fall in that pipeline, or do we feel like this is a separate kind of thing?
Yeah, great question, Reese. So for those who don't know, the creator program, or sorry, the referral program is for folks who refer either residents into the co-living network or new neighborhoods or podcast guests. When you do any of those three things, you are rewarded with Cabin. I think that's a great question, Reese, and I don't see why we couldn't do that. Let me figure out the logistics and I'll add it to that referral program document. I'll message out once that's locked in. But sure, if you're the one who refers the winning creator in residence each month, happy to. I mean, that's behavior we want to incentivize. So good question.
Any other thoughts, questions, reflections from folks? Yeah, Scott.
Oh, I just found myself in Austin through a series of amazing coincidences, and I had wanted actually to drop by, I guess, location 0. Who would I follow up with, and what would my next step be?
Yeah, so I'd recommend reaching out to Chalice. She just raised her hand there. I'll also drop her email there. Oh, Phil with the keys. Okay. So yeah, reach out to Chalice and she'll give you the latest. I know, too slow. I also just dropped a couple other links there for folks if they'd like to apply to co-live. I'm about to drop the application form for Columbia. So if you need anything at all, we're throwing some links at you. So just feel free to reach out if you have any questions about anything. I want to be mindful of time here because I know Charlie put in the hours on this video. I really wanted to watch it yesterday, but I held back so we could watch it together. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this link here in the chat. So we can all pull it up independently so we can get those algorithms, working with us here. So here is the link to the video. So everyone's gonna open it up and on their own computers. I'm gonna do a 3-second countdown and we're all gonna open it up together, but we're gonna make it a little fun this time. So if everyone could pop over to Discord, the general chat, we're gonna have some fun in the chat. So I hope you got your memes ready, Phil. Oh, Scott, we got a question from you.
You can actually share screen if you're doing it on Discord, and we could all see it literally at the same time while in chat still.
Oh, that could be cool. My only thought is I want to have 20 people watching it at the same time for the YouTube algorithm. We need to put up some algo prayers here. So I do like that idea. Maybe we can do that for another screening of Charlie's full feature-length film. But give me a thumbs up when you have that YouTube video opened. And give me a second thumbs up when you have the Discord general chat channel open. Whoever drops the comment that has the most emoji reacts, we're going to send you a little 2023 5 cabin gift. Okay. So get your gifts for the gifts because it's going down. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. We're going to start.
Just want to say going into this,
okay.
just one quick, super quick word. It was this whole series was such a fun thing to make, and getting to collaborate with so many of you to make it was like the best part of it. So just want to thank you all. This was so much fun.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Your work is seen, it's heard, it's appreciated, and it's about to be watched. So in 3, 2, I'll see you in the Discord general chat. 1 and go.
Let's go.
Hey. Yes, snaps to Charlie, everyone, putting in the work. Minutes. I just want to say I'm so excited for this season and 2023 and beyond. I'm so excited to be doing it with such an amazing group of people. If you need anything at all, give me a shout and we'll see you on the trail. Peace.